Good morning, Elias. I'm sorry to hear that you're having difficulty. I thought I would just kind of walk through the screen and maybe that will help. So I'm going to Module 3.2, Assessment and Evaluation. Reflect on these questions. So typically when it says reflect, that is just to get your minds on, engaged, thinking about getting you in the right mindset of what the particular lesson, reading experience, learning experience might be. So clearly from here, you can see the word assessment mentioned several times, both the word purpose, you'll see the word evaluation, the words diagnostic, formative, and summative. So we're trying to get you in the right mindset that there is the word assessment, and there are differences, there are nuanced differences between various assessments. And what do you know, get you thinking in that right mindset. Then think for a moment about these questions and how you would address the assessment and evaluation in your professional practice. Complete the attached assessment reflection sheet, but you're not submitting it. Again, it's just to get you engaged in the process. That's right here. A growing success document. It's a resource that's been around for about 14 years or so. And this presentation just quickly summarizes some of the salient points in that. Assessment for as of learning has become the focus of our approach. Interesting thing about assessment is that the idea and foundations of assessment do kind of remain the same, but how we interpret and apply our understanding of that assessment, often we use different words, different phrases. So if we went back 10 years or 20 years or 30 years, you'd see a different set of words to describe assessment. But in many cases, if you're assessing well, you'll see that your good assessment will fall under whatever new vernacular is being used. So these are just documents, readings, that are related to assessment. And they're aged for an intentional reason, because a part of this exercise when you're in the discussion forum in particular, which is short form DF, is to find modern examples of assessment and evaluation research or assessment and evaluation tips and whatnot and share. So I specifically left some of these as older assessments. And when you get to the newer assessments that you find, you will see some similarities, but also have an opportunity to talk about the evolution. In addition to this classification of assessment types, the student must have an opportunity to provide sufficient evidence of their learning, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We talk about conversations, products, and observations. Okay, that's the triangulation of evidence. And then another site that gives you more information about the triangulation. And then we have this discourse. So DF stands for discussion forum. And that is labeled in the very first announcement. It talks about what DF is, along with some other places. In the discussion, post an entry about the reality in your school. So this is one of those things where what is happening in your school around assessment? Do you have a learning team that talks before the course begins about how you're going to have a common assessment practice? Do you look at the major evaluations and then leave the assessment journey up to the individual teacher? Do you have a scaffolded, have you scaffolded how the communication is going to work from the beginning of the course through, a little bit of conversation, a little bit of debate, what it's going to look like in the report, how it's going to evolve to the end of the course with the final, whatever the evaluation looks like? Or are you just kind of dumping down for the very first time that they must do a presentation at the end without any practice? So what does it look like in your school? Are you a collaborative team or are you individual? Are you using the assessment guides of your board? Are you as a team sitting down and revising every year or 2 years as new teachers come in the department? So and so. At this point, people have answered, so you can see what they've said as well, but their reality will not be your reality. And then the assignment review, when you click on this link here, you're going to see a whole bunch of different readings here. And your task is to go into one of those readings and you're going to write down your name beside the reading that you choose. So let's say I choose, I don't remember what your background is, if it's chemistry, biology, or physics. I didn't look to see. But let's say I choose, pick one that's, looks like it might be, okay, that M3T2 Bio, EcoJar. So I see Maya's on here already. What is the purpose of assessment? She answered. Does it align with the achievement chart? She answered. And as I keep on going through, I see various answers. And what she had done is she looked through this task, which is short And many of these tasks are, again, purposefully designed so you have an opportunity to dissect, deconstruct, and look to see what could be done to improve. Does it actually match? In many cases, they're assignments that have been used, but certain elements have been removed in order to make it less than it should be. So you could go in here and see how she has, see what she said, and then you can also look at the same task, and then you contribute. And up here, so Maya didn't color code, so she should color code. When you come in here, you'll color code, and then her things you'll color code, and so on. And then when you come in, if you choose to use this one, if you're a bio person, then you'll write down your name, you'll give yourself your own color, whatever that might be, and then you'll provide your answers. Okay, push it down blue. Right? So once you've done that, at the end of the week, then I mentioned that if this is a cohesive group, so we could summarize it, but if you're not working together, then just leave it blank, but you have an opportunity to see kind of a collective asynchronous voice of what people feel about this particular assessment, what teachers feel about this particular assessment. And then once you've chosen, what was it, M3T2, you put your name here. I see Shakina. I actually didn't see her name on there. I don't know if she chose a different one, but you put your name here. All right, and for this activity, we'll be divided into groups. As I said, you can come on anytime you want because we're an asynchronous class, so we're not expecting you to come on at 6 p.m. on a Thursday or something like that, for example. And this link is to the same place. You'll see instructions about what you're supposed to do, which is kind of what I just did, or Maya just did, and then you entered in after, or I entered in as you after. Each group will review their assigned activities and analyze whether they adhere to the assessment and evaluation. These are just sets of instructions. These are the questions that are answered in each document. They're highlighted in yellow. And then you post, right? So that is what's happening with this assessment reflection. Okay, so hopefully that answers the question about Module 3.2.